So I want to show you quick how I changed the tire on my Onewheel Pint. There's a lot of videos out there where people show how to do this. And that doesn't mean that I show you how to do this. It just shows you how mine worked, right? So I got this hosier tire there. Also a slick tire like the original one, what is on here. And first of all, I take all the screws off of this Pint. Every single screw that's on here is going to be removed. On the board at least. Here you see me struggling to take the fender piece off here. There's two hooks on here, left and right, that snap into some grooves on both sides here. Okay, let's turn this thing around and look on the bottom. And on there I have just a bunch of screws. Now, all of those I take out and put in a little bucket. There is torque on those videos that show how to do this, to memorize where the screws go to. I have to say this is only in part necessary. The very long ones here on the ends, those you need to memorize where they go. The rest of the screws are all the same. All the tiny ones here. There we go with our little torque tool. And I use this electric driver here to get those out quickly, because I don't have all day. But even though I use that, doing this whole video, it took me over an hour. Of course, I do have to move the camera around and find tools here and there to do this for the very first time. This whole video, by the way, is 25 minutes and we're at minute 2, so there's 23 or more minutes. If this is too slow for you, just fast forward, right? Or there is those little links in the description where you can click and fast forward to the appropriate spots in the movie here. Good, so I really remove every single screw I have here on the bottom. That's what we got here. Hope I don't drop any. On the left footpad here, you have to be careful because there is a wire connected to it, a sensor wire. And so that doesn't come off all the way, right? So you have to be careful to not pull on it too hard. There's the wire here on the right. And we have to see how we can unplug this plug. It has to be screwed off first. And the best to do this is from the other side, right? So if you take it off, those bumpers left and right, you can just pull them off. Then you can, here, some pliers, loosen it up a little, twist the inner ring and then pull off that one. And then later we need to do the battery one, not the battery one, the controller cable. We need to take that off too. But again, behind here is more screws, 4 on each side. We need to take those out. The one screw fell on the ground and I just have to find it. I think it fell on the ground. Where did it go? That's the thing, so you need to watch your screw. Oh, there it is. You need to watch your screws that they don't fly around. I'm pretty sure you could buy those to get the same size. They're all the same except the 4 long ones. So, get that out. Now it should start getting loose here. Get my plastic piece off at the end. It's a little jiggly here. Screwdriver. could help, or I have those little plastic things. There. But if you remove the rails on the left and right, then the whole thing comes unstable and loose to begin with. A lot of dirt in there. That's your opportunity to clean, by the way. Okay, so where are we here? Getting this whole thing. But is there any more screws here? Oh, then we have those plastic cable protectors. They protect the cables left and right. Those have to be taken off. Yeah, I'm going to take the larger one off here. That is the motor cable that I take off. So you have one sensor cable and one that goes to the motor. That's also easy to take off, since you have the board open from both sides. Now I try to wiggle this out here, but it's not working. It's not easy to do this here. So the best is really to take the nuts off in on the hub. So here, this is a Phillips screwdriver you need. You need the right size to take those Phillips screws off. Yeah, there it is. So those Phillips screws hold a little plastic piece that holds the wire down so that the wire does not get in contact with the rim when it spins. So there's two of them. And then you can pull just this plastic piece up. There's another one. Okay, that thing has different screws, so they are not the same as the rest. So that's best to keep those screws in those plastic pieces. By the way, this is my old tire, and the old tire is not really worn out, I would say. I changed it earlier. I just wanted to see how this Hosea tire drives in comparison to the old one, and I also wanted to make this video to show how to do it. Because, I mean, how many videos like this do you need? Was it more work than I expected? Yeah, it was kind of difficult. And I don't know why. Maybe it is because the tire I bought, the Hosea, is a little stiffer. The tire compound, by the way, is FK. Just the U was missing in the middle. FK. So that's the tire compound. Now, the hub nuts. There's the hub bolts. Yeah, there I hear people like wearing them out and breaking them. What can I say? So I do use a T30. That's what it has to be. And then I use this power drill here to loosen them up. And it worked pretty easy, so they were not in there hard. Second one. And then of course you do this on both sides. Turn this thing around and use the other side. Yeah, there's the hub wire, the hub cable here. You have to be careful with that one. So at this point I can remove here the battery pack. Let's see. All a big mess now. On and on. And of course, those screws are not the same as the others. Just pull those out. Put the rails to the side. And then we can take the battery and the electronics board out of the way, those two boxes. And put them to the side also. It's not needed for the rest of this. So with this cable here, you need to be very careful that you don't, when you hammer around on it or put pressure on the rim, that you don't cut that off by accident. So there we have to be very careful. And if you turn it around, we can release the air already out of the tire. For that, we remove the stem out of the valve, and we leave it out because that way it's easier to let the air out fast and then get it back in faster. So that thing comes out until we are finished with the repair. This little tool here I found at Walmart is like less than $10 over there. It's like a valve repair tool. So that's where you can repair the stem. You can do a lot of things with this one. It's a stem repair tool. Valve repair tool or whatever. It doesn't have new valves in it, just new valve inserts in case that breaks, but that one we take out slowly. And I show here the sign for wearing goggles. There is air coming out, and then also they have some fluid in there to avoid flat tires. And there's little pieces in there. It was weird. But you do really want to wear glasses at least when you do this. Here's my little box. I put all the stuff in here that it doesn't get dirty or lost. I leave that in there for the duration of this tire change. Put the cup in there to the cap. Okay, so now we are ready to push the sides down to release the bead of the hump in the rim. And supposedly you can do this with your body weight. I doubt that you can do that in this case, but let me show you how I did this here. So I do have a rubber mat underneath here so that it doesn't slide around so much. This is the cable up, so we can push down like we want. I have an old stick here and then just push down like that. That was easy on that side. Now on the other side, because I don't want to cut the wire off there, the cable, I put this little wood piece here. There, and let's twist this around that the valve is not in the way. Oh, there. That's what I said. The valve out of the way. Yeah, there. And then we push down here hard. With the knee I hold it down and they have a little bit leverage. So now they're both off, and what we need now is to get the beads here off that rim, and on the side, on the opposite side of the cable here, there's the cable. On the opposite side is like a lower groove in there, like where it's, you can put the bead in the groove on one end, and then it's long enough to come out on the other side. Hard to explain. When you do it, you see it. It is more difficult because it becomes very slippery because of this fluid they put into the tire. I'm sorry, my neighbor is starting to mow its grass now. It's like 7 o'clock at night. That's when he starts working, that idiot. Okay, so now I have those spoons that I can insert here. I have 2 of those. Now, I use metal spoons that are made for doing this for car tires, but is it advisable to do this? No, not really. You can scratch the rim, right? Do you want to scratch the rim? That's the question. So you could put some tape around them that it doesn't scratch so much. Yeah, I do have to put a screwdriver in the hub here in the middle. Do I have a good one? Let's see. Here. Put that in there, and then I can use those spoons like scissors. Here, watch this. So I just push them around like this, and then it basically like shears that tire off there. Now I have to do this with the other side. Here, one spoon goes in, second spoon goes in. I don't want to scratch the rim, but I don't care. So use some tape if you do it the same way. Here, put my screwdriver in the middle so that I have leverage there. Look at that. And there it's off. Okay. Now all this mess here is crazy. Now, if you wipe out your tire with a paper towel and go in there to get it out, make sure that you don't have a nail in there. If you do have a nail or anything sharp sticking out there, like penetrating the tire, you can hurt your fingers when you go through there and feel only on the inside of a tire. That is very dangerous. So make sure there is no nail in there. Look first or wear gloves. Now we need to lubricate the bead. If you want to push it up here. And I'm going to try first to do this without any tools. I try to do this like they show in all those videos. Just push it up there. Not sure if I have enough force here when I do this on my table here. I'm going to see how that goes. So let's say they say, oh, just push this in like that. Does that really work? Spinning it in here? No, it does not. It's just too rough. Now, this new Hosier tire, I have to say, is feels very stiff compared to the OEM. As I said, compound is FK. This is regular room temperature here, so maybe if it's hotter, it's easier, but no. So now let me put this underneath. And then let's try to push with a little more force. Does that work? Man. You need to be strong to do this. Also, basically important is that this bead on one end is in this deep groove on this one side. I'm going to try here with a piece of aluminum strip. Let's see if that works. If I just push it over here. It did work. It's hilarious. Okay, but it's not going to work on this side. So now what we have to do, it's a struggle, I tell you. So we have to get this bead also in the groove or over it. Now I'm going to try it like this, what they say. Just push it on one side, hold it with your knee, and twist it on there a little bit. Will that work? Pushing it hard. Now this is way less slippery. Because it's new. Oh, there it is on. Ah, look at that. Now all we need is some air in this tire. Okay. Good. So the beads have to be lubricated to do this. You need to wear goggles so that any crap shoots up into your eyes. There is a sticker on this tire, or it was on there, you see in the upper right corner. The maximum inflation is 57 psi and never exceeds 40 to seat the bead. That's not going to work. I mean, I am filling this thing up like nuts, and it won't go on the bead. And you have to be careful if it doesn't come on there. Like you have the pressure on there, but you can't have your fingers between bead and rim, so that can cut your fingers off. You have to be careful doing this. Now, if you read the safety warning on this specific tire here, on this Hosier tire, it can explode if you pump too much air in it. But I mean, I'm telling you, I think I got it up to 90 over it. I think it was a lot before this thing popped. Now, on one side pops, it has to pop on both sides, right? So you basically need to hear 2 pops in order to get this going. Now, I don't have a valve stem in there, so the air is going to come back out. And I don't know if it's such a good idea to do it on the table. I just do this here for the camera. So if the tire really explodes and it is in your chest area or your belly area, it might cause more damage than if it explodes on the ground. So keep that in mind. See how that goes. Does not, it's way too much pressure in here. Now, I'm going to lay this thing flat and try that. You see how the bead is not seated? It's going to come eventually. Either it explodes or it seats. Bam, there we go. Look at that, and the fluid is leaking. That sprayed around a little bit. Look at that. On my wall here is full of that. Of the stuff I used here. I mean, I don't know if I should even say what I used. That was like a toothpaste for the dog. Is that bad? No, I needed something slippery, and that was some gel you're supposed to use with mint taste to fix your dog's teeth. That's what I used. Maybe it was not slippery enough. Okay, so now I'm going to fill it up to the correct tire pressure. Let's do a little bit. Let's see how much that is. Okay, let's see. Here, digital meter, it's nice to have. Also Walmart, by the way. 13 psi, okay. A little more. Be careful, it will take fast, very fast. If you have a compressor to it, it will take pressure fast. Just a very small tire here, 26 already. Did you see that? How fast that fills up. So careful to not explode that tire. Okay, so now I do a fast forward and get all this crap back together. Lots of screws. They all go in there. Don't over tighten them, especially the ones that go into plastic. Put them all back in. Go easy on it. Don't over tighten. That's the most important. Put it back together the same way you took it apart. So it's helpful to do this all within an hour so that you don't forget how it came together. I put a fender on now. And there I'm done. That's how it looks like now. The new tire is on. As I said, it took a little over an hour with using the camera here and get the tools together and all that. So that's it. I'm going to do a quick test drive with this thing on the street. First I'm going with a 26 tire pressure is a lot. I never liked it so much. And then I go on the regular ride here. I go with 17 psi. And then you can hear the sound. So I stop talking now. Listen to the sound, how it sounds like. And how it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And maybe I'll see you next.